Hello YouTube, this is a quick little guide, well, as quick as I can make it, on how to beat Igris normal and hard mode, because they're both the same really. The only difference is your combat power level. But all you really need to beat Igris is light related things. So if you have these hunters, Chai, Beck, and Ming, you're all set. If you don't have either one or just one of these, either one is gonna help. But you need Beck really to help you break his break gauge. Otherwise, you use whatever other break that you have the best. If you have Emma, you can try to use Emma. She's gonna be pretty good for the extra defense penetration. If you do not have Emma, then you can just use
not bad.
Nam or
trust me,
Yoj Jinho, because he's free and everybody should have him. He has some break damage and he'll keep you alive. If you're struggling with health on any of them, you don't have Ming.
Let's go.
Lee Johi is also pretty good for keeping you alive, but you mostly just want DPS and break. You want all the support you could possibly get.
Don't be afraid
to keep you alive and to maximize damage.
I'll take the lead.
Break. Besides, for the hunters, for the shadows, if you're in normal mode, you won't have any of these, so it doesn't really matter. If you're in hard mode, then Igris or Blades, depending on which your build is. If you want more crit rate because you're doing a crit rate type build, you will definitely want Igris. If you are just not using anything crit related or in the red, then your 3% attack percent from Blades would be very helpful for you here. For artifacts, that really just depends on what you're building. Toughness set is pretty good, and the black line set is also pretty good for Jinmu if you want to have an easier time. For the accessories, use whatever you got the best you can, because most of the battles are pretty short. I just have this for an overall good balance. For the skills, if you have a Death Dance Earth Shock, bring that. If you got lucky enough in the gacha through the skill crafting or forging, and you got armor break, you can bring the multi-shadow strike. That is very good. If you do not have any of the armor break, that's okay. You can still, or shadow dance, you still have multi-strike pummel. And then for the final option, you have crushing blow and lightning break, just to break them. Either one of those skills is very good, or you can bring two of any of those combinations. But prioritize, if you have it, armor break and death dance. They deal the most damage and plus give you a nice crit damage bonus. Otherwise, your second place would be the multi-strike, I think it was. Yeah, for additional crit rate. If that's not if you're not struggling with the breaking because you have good enough hunters for it, then and you're just taking too much damage or not enough dodge, then your best bet, which is how I did it, is the crushing blow countering break, because it gives me a shield. But the shield is kind of pointless, the shield, because once you attack gets contact with it, you're immediately teleported and take no damage and deal the heavy break. So this is very good, far more better than the lightning break, because of the heavy break, but the light still does a bit more since it's elemental advantage. And then the vertical arts reap is what I used as well, because it's just fun to bully Igris with it. Here, let me show you. As for the blessing stones, if you have any of these four, those are going to help you. If you don't have any of those four, Plummel is also going to help. If you have Pulverize, it's going to help you. If you don't have that, then Double-Edged Sword will be of some help depending on your build. If you have high attack, like I do,
time to warm up.
Me me being at 54, that's not helping me. It does almost nothing. And then the additional 2% from the gems, it just makes too little of a difference. So that's why if you have higher than 50% attack percent, don't bother with the double-edged sword unless you don't have anything better. The Assassin's Proficiency, that helps increasing your damage if you can get behind him, if he even lets you, which is harder to do. The Advanced Dagger Technique is also pretty good when if you don't have any of the 4 I already have equipped. The reason you want Boss Slayer is that this is an 8% amp, which increases your final damage by 8%. Same thing with the weakness detection. Even though there's already a 50% elemental weakness bonus, this gives you a separate 8% on top of everything else that already is going on for some reason. So elemental weakness and loss are hugely increase your damage. The only reason you would want reawakening skills is for that 8%. It's huge. It affects all your skills, your base skills, your weapon skills, and your hunters. And then the final one, Bloodlust, strictly for the extra 4% defense shred. Either one, for how many slots you have available. You probably would have like 2 slots available by this time if you're in hard mode, maybe a third. If you're normal, you're only going to have 1, which is going to be pointless for you, so you're going to be fine with a daily quest. For weapons, if you have Huntsman, bring Huntsman. If you do not have Huntsman, you can beat it with the Venom Dagger. That's how I beat it the first time. And here, I should show you too. First one I put here. And then for the second weapon, which I used this to beat him in normal mode because I did not have anything else. But it's still the same, even though power advantage is huge, but I'll show you. Well, you should have a scythe by now. So we'll just use the dagger. But here. Just a quick little guide for everything you'll need to set up and to take care of Igris in normal or hard. Even in the challenge things is still the same. Just need to fix the loading. Always freezes up every now and then. I have to wait. And since I do not have an editor or editing software, you're gonna have to deal with this for now.
Now, let's get started.
Okay. You just dash twice immediately.
I can't tell.
Here, so you
Even
get
after
maximum speed. You escape. You can skip the cutscene. Stand here. Take 2 steps.
Time for
Dash
it. Too
forward.
slow. I believe
Backstab.
he's able to move that fast with armor on.
Attacking him.
Something about him is
Summon
different than everyone else.
Try to break him.
He's stronger than I imagined.
So just wait and push him low.
Destroy them all!
Oh, actually, I didn't have this.
An opening! I see it all. An opening! This is the end!
He's broken.
The strongest healer has appeared.
He's already stood up, so he's no longer vulnerable. Dash away.
I'll back you up. Time for a counterattack.
He's gonna do it again.
See it. Too slow.
The strongest healer has appeared.
Very good. Got it. And then dash away. You could always dash into that if you
It's
want to
no
get
use.
a bonus of shadow step. At all times with counters, because you basically have them all the time.
Time for a count. Too slow.
Shadow step.
I'll back you up.
Granted, yes, I have higher power level
It was a
now
good
than
fight.
before, but you still get the point. He's not too difficult once you learn his patterns and his attacks. along with having the correct skills and build, or enough power to not be in the red. The moment you're in white, just barely in the white, then you have a chance of beating it. But the higher, closer you are to this, the better the chances you are going to at beating it. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little challenging. And that is all for how to beat Igris on both normal and hard. It's pretty easy in comparison to the other bosses that you'll have to fight on later on if you haven't got there. If anything, I found this hobgoblin, a lot more difficult and more annoying than Igris, but still annoying nonetheless. That is all. Goodbye.